Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsy69 and welcome back to channel. This evening we're just going to have a quick look at two tanks that have come into store as part of a sale. So first up, the tank we're going to look at is the AT15A, a British TD in tier 7 that you can buy in the tech tree. But it's come as part of a deal. So stat wise, 2,715 DPM. Very good DPM. Reload for that is 3.54. The penetration is not the greatest on the AP at 171, but the APCR is 239, which you can penetrate most things with 239, so not so bad. 160 alpha, 135 on the APCR and 200 on your HG. Aim time, not so great at 3.9, but the dispersion is lovely at 0.261. Gun elevation, again, not great, 10 degrees, but it has got a nice 10 degrees of gun depression. It also, as it hasn't got a turret, it does have a gun arc 25 degrees to the left, 25 degrees to the right, which is quite nice indeed, especially because you need to hide that hatch. The hatch is the biggest weak point in this, just like most of the AT series. It also goes 20 kilometers per hour, which is slow, but it's not so slow for a TD like this. So as you can see, you've got the big hatch to the right. So if you can go up to not a ridge line, well, you can go up to a ridge line and use the 10 degrees of gun depression, and that hatch does become a little bit stronger or a little bit difficult to get. But if you can come up behind either a building or a rock and hide that hatch on the right side, you're going to deal damage. And if you're especially in tier 6, you can pump out that damage very, very quickly. Now, I probably recommend running calibrated shells. This battle I'm just running the rammer just for the extra reload. But you run calibrated shells, I mean, it's going to add like, what, it's 3.5 seconds. It's going to go up to around 3.7 second reload, which is absolutely nothing. Nothing at all, and it just gives you that extra bit of penetration. So this battle, Port Bay, we are... Fort Despair, sorry, we are on... We're just going to rush the middle. I mean, we're top tier. There's only 2 tier 7s. So we are going to play very, very aggressive. Now, the Tiger 131 has decided he wanted to try and cap. There is also a challenger here. There's a T29, and there is a couple of tanks sitting at the back as well. So we're just going to face the enemy. Always have to face the enemy. There's one tank down. We've taken out the Tiger 131. He didn't do very well. And now we're just going to... Again, we're going to play very aggressive, and we're just going to push him. I mean, you can't really do this in tier 8 because you will get wrecked. But it does have some side armor, and it does have some rear armor. So you can get those bounces from the side and the rear if you're lucky. So this battle already, we have bounced 1,080 damage. And we're just going to hopefully deal with this challenger. There we go, another 530 damage from the SU and 160 damage from the Firefly. So that's now, we're up to 1,900 block damage. We're going to leave the Firefly for now because he's got a small gun. There's another 530 damage from the SU. And we can just pump out that DPM, and there is nothing that this SU can do about it. Well, there is. He can actually hide behind the rock, but instead he is giving me some free damage. 200 high roll there, leaves him on a one shot, and we can just quickly take him out. So already 2.5 minutes gone, we are up to 2,200 damage, and we're up to 2,400 damage. And this is what I mean. It's the gun, the armor is very, very, very troll, especially if you do end up being top tier. And when I am top tier, I do play very, very aggressive because they do very much struggle to deal with you. So now just the Firefly left. We're going to pump out that DPM, and we do get him before the VK. So 3 kills, 2,460 block damage, 2,515 damage. Nice, easy battle. And we do get ourselves a first class. We didn't have to shoot any pramo that battle, so we do make nice credits for that damage, 56,000 credits, not bad for 2.5k damage. So that is the AT15A. I mean, you can buy the AT15A at any time in the Blitz store, but it has come in part of a deal with the Chieftain T95. So we're going to have a quick look at the Chieftain T95. So it's a tier 8 British heavy tank. The turret is very nice at 254, but everything else is very poor. I mean, your hull is only 85, the side 50, and your rear is 25. So you are going to get shot from HE from the rear, so do be careful of that. Damage per minute is quite good for a heavy, tier 8 heavy at 2,324, and the reload is very quick at 5.8 seconds. Now the penetration is 202 on your AP, 238 on your APCR, and 45 on your HE. So if you come up against another T95, Chieftain T95, you're not even going to penetrate his turret with APCR in this thing. So the turret is very nice. It does have, I think, 10 degrees of gun depression as well. 202 penetration, 238 on your APCR, and you do 225 damage on your AP, 190 on your APCR. Aim time, very good at 2.8. Dispersion is K at 0.326, and as I said, it does have 10 degrees of gun depression, and it has a nice 40 kilometers per hour speed. So using those ridge lines is probably the best way to play this tank, using your turret, because as I've said, you're not going to bounce anything from your hull, and you're not going to bounce anything from the sides or the rear. So definitely you need to be facing the enemy, and if you can use that ridge line, I mean, you've got 250 millimeters of armor on your turret, but the problem with that being, yes, you've got a strong turret, but that big massive hatch on top is a really big weak point, and it's literally got no armor. So that for me makes this tank bad. I hate this tank. I don't hate the tank. The tank is actually an okay tank. I just think that needs to be not so much of a weak point, because that is a big weak point. I don't see the point of having 250 millimeters of armor on your turret if you've got a great big hatch sticking on top. And because it's so big, people just automatically aim for it. I mean, you could be face onto an enemy, and because it's so big, they'd rather shoot that than your hull, because that's just the way it is. It stands out, and because things stand out, it just makes people go for it. So we're going to hunt their enemy spawn, because I did just spot that one of their teammates said, oh my god, 2 AFKs. So we're going to take advantage of that, and we are going to go. But as soon as we do get there, both tanks do come alive. Well, the IS comes alive after I kill him halfway. So there is also an ISU 152 that has also come alive. So we are going to, I mean, most of our team are with us in this area. As you can see, the Glacial is going to take out the IS, and it's now going to leave the IS 152 on his own. So we're just going to push him. He is going to look at us, but we do get a very troll bounce. And I mean, a very troll bounce, and we do get a lucky 29 damage from the SU 152 to our side. That was lucky, because he could pen me with HE no problem at all and do really big damage. So we were pretty lucky to get only 29 damage done to us. But at this time, we've killed those two that were late into the game. We got the 047 up there. Unfortunately, he is just hiding behind the wall there, and we can't get a shot on the SU either. So we're just going to turn around. We do notice that there is 2 heavy tanks flanking, which is the T26E5. He's pretty much a one-shot, and so we're going to deal with the IS3, who's just shot. We do get a pen there from the Persian lookalike thingy, and we do take him out for our second kill, and we can now just focus on this IS3 with our team 6 against 4. I mean, no problem at all. We are winning on supremacy points. The enemy have got 2 caps, but at this stage in the game, they could have 3 caps, and it just wouldn't matter. They really didn't do a good job, the enemy team. Didn't help that their 2 tanks, the IS and the ISU 152, were still in spawn by the time we got there. So we were pretty lucky as a team. And now it just leaves 2 tanks left alive, which is the 047, he's not going to last much longer, and the J Panther, who is heading towards our green team. So we're just going to go up the hill. I mean, we've only got 1 cap, and we're still, what, 775 supremacy points? We do miss that shot on the J Panther, but at this point in the game, it is just him versus. He does take out our J Panther, and we are going to get one more shot in on him before our team take him out. So a very, very easy battle. You're not always going to have that in the Chieftain T95, but other than the big hatch on top, it's not a bad tank. I just really hope and really want Wargaming just to make that hatch a little bit tougher, because it's got such a nice turret and you can't do anything, because if you go hold down, which is the best way to play this tank because you've got no armor on your hull, that just sticks out like a frog in a sock. So as you can see here, 9,500 for them both, which isn't bad. 7,500 just for the Chieftain with the camo, or 6,000 just for the Chieftain. And just to compare, the Tiger 131 is also 6,000, and it's 2 tiers below. On Meadsy69, I probably at the moment wouldn't recommend any of these. I'd just wait for future tanks to come. I'm Meadsy, hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you soon.